Babajide Shiwoku. Babajide Shiwoku is an accomplished entrepreneur and co-founder with over 18 years of expertise in global financial institutions, launching new ventures and forging strategic partnerships. With proven success in leading high-performance sales teams, surpassing targets and optimizing customer segmentation for tailored product offerings. He is passionate about mentorship, strategic leadership, and fostering community engagement. Babajide is the co-founder CEO of GlocaPro, a consulting firm that fuses African innovation with global best practices, offering advisory services tailored to entrepreneurs and businesses of African descent aiming to thrive in Canada and North America. By leveraging the rapidly growing Afro-Caribbean population, he is changing the narrative, positioning African-made products to compete on the international stage and significantly enhancing their visibility. Through strategic partnerships and market insights, he empowers African entrepreneurs to establish successful ventures abroad, fostering business growth and long-term success while bridging the gap between African talent and the Canadian market. He will be speaking at Support Circle Academy on the topic Visionboarding and the Success Mindset, creating a roadmap to your best life. This program is brought to you by Support Circle Academy.
Thanks everyone for joining. Ari, thank you so much for always inviting me to Powermon's program. It is always an amazing time anytime I join, and not just to speak, but also to learn. I mean, that presentation was extremely powerful, and man, it did speak a lot to me. So before we start, is it okay if I start by asking those questions? Because I like hearing different perspective to some questions in my head, so I can now start putting stuff together. So if it's okay, can I see thumbs up to just ask the question and let me hear people's feedback? Okay, how many of us has heard of that saying, or people keep saying, forget the past, forget the past? We've all heard about it, right? Oh, forget the past, forget the past. So what do you think? Do you actually think we should forget the past totally to be able to move forward? Can I hear people's opinion? Do you actually think we should forget the past so that we can move forward? Yes, Ada, please go ahead. I saw your hand up. So who wants to speak to that? Do you actually think that we should forget the past so that we can move forward to the future?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Ada. Go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, again. So in my own opinion, when we say forget the past, my own opinion is that my own take is don't dwell on the past, but it can be a spur, a spring to your future. You can learn from it to get better. It can be a reference for a better turn, a turning point, something better than where you were. It can be a stepping stone. Like I think let me borrow a word from Ariella. She said, you have a data. So you now know that this can't work. This isn't what you did, and I got you to this point isn't good enough, or is this way. So what else do you do? But don't dwell on it. That's what I understand by forget the past.
Okay, so if I've heard you correctly, Ada, you're saying don't erase the past, but just don't dwell on it, but it can still serve as memory. Am I correct?
Yes. Once you're good to go, they can erase it. Even unknowingly it can be erased. But yes, that's what I mean. Thank you.
So what do you mean? Don't erase. It can still serve as memory, but don't dwell on it. Okay, awesome. Comfort.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. So I think when you were asking that question, do we have to forget the past in order for us to move, ahead or forge ahead? And the first thought that came to my mind in terms of having to answer that question is, can we really forget the past? Because the truth is that we're humans, we have memories, we can remember, right? So we really might not be able to forget the past, but I totally agree with what the first speaker mentioned, not having to dwell on the past. But the truth is that sometimes it can be difficult, like just being real here. There are some persons who have gone through some traumatic experiences, or they've gone through things that have shaped them, and that's what they've become That's what has shaped their now, and sometimes it's so difficult to say, okay, I'm just going to forget. But I totally agree, like I said before with the first speaker, having to not dwell on it, but instead using it as a stepping stone to how you want your future to become. Right? Yes, this is what has shaped your life. This is what you already know. This is what has, you know, determined the direction in which your life has turned out to be. But what do you now do about it? Right? So that's what I would say. But we may necessarily not totally forget, but then again, how do we make the best of what has happened to us, in our past life? Thank you.
Awesome. I love those two answers. And the reason why I um, asked that question that is going to be a major part of what we're talking about today, which is vision boarding. And I agree with both speakers that just spoke.
So sorry,
Don't
before we move forward, please. Someone said she's in the waiting room.
I
Kindly
just I just accepted there's no other person in the waiting room. There's no other person in the waiting room. Okay. So as I was saying, learn from the past, but you cannot totally forget the past. But the major reason for not totally forgetting the past is that if you totally erase the past, you'll not appreciate where you are, because you'll not see where you're coming from. So to you guys' point, the past will always serve as a springboard to move forward, right? And if you learn from the past, it will help you to see where you're coming from, appreciate the effort that you've put into yourself, and also appreciate where you are. So you're able to give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, awesome. That being said, let's jump straight into our topic for the day, which is vision boarding. So who understand what it is to have a vision board? I know most of us write down our goals and um our goals, objective, or whatever it is for the year. So the difference is when you have a vision board or you write it down in a piece of paper, there's a huge difference because one, no matter how careful you are, you can always misplace whatever notebook that you're keeping. Two, you have to look for the notebook, open the notebook, and go back to it over and over again to remember the goals that you have set for yourself. So that is where vision board comes in. So apart from the fact that vision board helps you clarify your goals, it keeps you motivated, right? And it helps you be more engaged. Now, most of us know how to sing some songs, not because we wrote down the songs or we consciously learned the song, because we've been listening to it over and over and over again. That song became part of us. That is exactly what Vision Board will do for you. Vision Board serves as a visual reminder, and it helps reinforce your commitment and inspire your action because you can see it. Now, I've been using Vision Board for almost 10 years. And guess what? There's nothing, when I mean nothing, there's nothing I've written on that board that I've not achieved to where I'm sitting today. I was just sharing with Ari last week, and that speaks to Ari's point of giving back. When you volunteer and you give back, um, guys, before I proceed, I would like to acknowledge someone that just joined. She's not a member of Power Moms. She's actually my mentor. She's a major contributor to who I am today. Her name is Mrs. Shubugiwamu. She's a very strong mentor of mine, and I'm happy that she was able to join. Thank you, Ma, for joining us. Ari and I grew up together, and when Ari was saying that she didn't have a 2-1, I was super surprised because Ari is born to a family of brainiacs, as in Irene elder cousin was in my class, and we're always dragging that first and second. So that's it. So just to jump back into what I was saying. So vision board actually helps. I've been using vision board for a while, and there's nothing I've written on my vision board that I've not achieved. And guess what? Because when I do it, I tick it up and I celebrate myself. That also impacted my kids. So when you are doing vision board, don't do it for yourself. Do it for the entire family. All right. So let me share with you. I have an 8-year-old. This is my 8-year-old vision board. And guess what? And if you see that it keeps peeling off some because it does it every year. And every one of us, including my wife, we all have our vision board. This is my 14-year-old vision board. And guess what? We place the vision board right in front of our bed. When we wake up every morning, is the first thing that we see. My 8-year-old started his own business. The next thing he wanted to do was to play basketball. He put it there. He was so committed to it because he sees it every day. It serves as a reminder, right? And he's now better off at playing basketball because he practices it every day. So vision board is extremely important when you put it in a board and you put it in a strategic location that you have to see it every day. There are 2 people in the world that we cannot lie to. Just 2 people in the world. Do you know who those are? Yourself and God. So every morning that you wake up and you see your vision board, you know whether you are actually walking in that path or not. Right? So that's actually what vision board has done to me. So let me just take you back a bit. So vision board didn't start today. It's actually been on for a while, right? So many people have been using vision board and it has worked, wonders for so many people, right? But the importance of vision boarding is to ensure that you not just put those goals there, it also serves as a reminder. And that is why I asked the first question, that should we really forget the past, or the past should serve as a springboard for us? So as you're making progress, celebrate your small wins. You must learn to celebrate yourself. When you have a vision, I was sharing with Ari sometimes ago. I think the first presentation I made with Power Moms, I started, volunteering a whole lot. So I volunteered for Futurepreneur Canada, where I support Canadian young entrepreneurs to grow. I support access employment, and everything was on my vision board to give back before I started supporting those people. It was on my vision board. And when you give back, everything keeps coming back to you. Now, I'll tell you another thing that vision board has done for me that was really amazing. So last week, I also shared with Ari, I got a message from a friend of mine that, she wants me to work with their company to present or train people on sales. And this company is one of the top training company globally. They are called Moody's Analytics. They train top banks like Citibank, Standard Chartered, RBC, and all that. And when she told me, I just went back to my vision that I wrote, saying that I want to give back. I want to, speak to more people. And I've been trying to build my brand. From the last time that we spoke, I've been trying to build my brand. I've been trying to get myself engaged more and more. And when that came up, it was so amazing. So initially for me, it was the fact that I'm connecting with that big brand. And when that goes on my resume, it helps me to speak at a higher level. Your vision board also gives you confidence. Because once you see it, that your vision board gives you that I can do mentality. That is what your vision board does for you, that it is possible. Let me share something that I posted recently on my page. and how that has also impacted me. What your vision board also does to you is it makes clear to understand the difference between the how and the why, right? The how and the why. Your vision board makes you focus on the why because that is your goal, that is your vision. If your vision board make you focus on the why, the how become effortless. The how comes naturally. My why was to give back. My why was to support people. But when it now came to the how, it just came naturally. And I'll give you the last example. So as I was consulting for these people, Moody's Analytics, they are extremely big. So I was supposed to be on a podcast with two people. The first guy I was supposed to be on the same set with has a double PhD. In my mind, I was like, what am I going to say to this thing? PhD, MD. Where am I going to start from? But anytime I go back to my vision board, it gives me that confidence that, when you're putting a vision board, it starts from the mind. And what my vision board tells me every day is that whatever you can think of as human means it's possible. As long as you can conceive it as human, means that thing is possible. All the electric cars that we're driving today, all the things that they are doing today, they were taught in somebody's mind years back. I remember when let's say in the 18th century, if somebody had said, oh, people will be going to space, they will have thought that probably the person, or the 17th century, they will have thought that the person is not, or something like that. But it was somebody's vision. Your vision keeps you focused, especially when you have a vision board. Again, it's okay to have a book. It's okay to have a book, to write your vision in the book. It's very okay. That's how I started. And when I started doing my vision board, I also learned from my kids because their vision board is always pictorial. They cut pictures and paste it. And that enables you envision that vision. It enables you see it. It makes it real to you. And your vision board also expands your view because it's as far as your eye can see. That's what God told Abraham when he took him out to go and count the stars. It's as far as your eye can see. Your vision board makes your vision endless. And your vision board, most importantly, keeps you focused. And that is one very important point I need to share with us today. I was working on a project called Project Ignite. And Project Ignite is to see how we can give back to, how I can give back to Nigeria. And Project Ignite, I was supposed to be teaching kids in the underdeveloped areas in Nigeria. I was supposed to teach them STEM, entrepreneurship, leadership, and branding. And how did I start? Every time there's always a news in the comment that, and there's always a comment in the news that, oh, Nigerian youth are 419, Nigerian youth are doing fraud, they are doing this. What came to my mind, because vision board also helps you focus on the positive. That's what vision board does. What came to my mind was not the fact that they are branding our youth as being fraudulent, as being lazy. What came to my mind is that if they can use that brain to do all those internet fraud, if you channel that energy in the right space, you'll be building a beautiful and vibrant population in future. So I put it down as a vision. So I wrote down that vision of Ignite, teaching them, and I was looking for partners to help that vision grow. So I was speaking to a company in Canada to tell them that, oh, this is what I want to do. Can you help me build a STEM curriculum? Blah, blah. And, they wanted to build it and everything. And they were like, okay, you're going to pay for it and all that. So I spoke to one of my other mentors. She was like, oh, do you know what? Why don't you build your own faculty to teach this STEM? Because it was part of my vision, And after I reaching out to a friend in the US that is in the tech space, a friend, another friend in the US, two of them that are in the tech space. Nobody told me, no, nothing can ever work in Nigeria. Forget it. Don't even try it. Don't disturb yourself. because it was part of my vision board, I was focused on the goal. I was not focused on the negative feedback it was giving me. Though it came in, but because each time I wake up, I still see that thing and it reminds me of how it started. So it's not allowing that negative part to come inside of me to start saying, oh, because this guy has said it's not possible, I shift it apart. Because of what he said, it gave me more drive to ensure that vision comes to reality. And it also reminded me that because I've thought about it, means it's possible. The next thing I did was to start going online, to start looking for people to support me. I sent emails to 5 of the top universities in Canada. One of them came back with a response that they're going to do the curriculum, they're going to do the certification, they're going to do everything. And it's like the third biggest university in Canada. And they are ready to partner with me. If that was not part of my vision board, if I had listened to my friend in the US that was supposed to be supporting, I would have probably shelved the whole idea. I sent that same proposal to 5 states in Nigeria. They loved it and they invited me to come and speak to them about it. That's what vision board can do for you. It keeps you focused. It blocks your ears away from noise. It makes your gaze it makes you extremely focused. So all those side distractions, your vision board keeps you focused. That is why it's important. So the importance of vision board when you're trying to do something cannot be overemphasized. And let's go to how do you create a vision board? How do you start? A vision board can be in any form. Like my kids, their vision board is always pictorial. And I loved it and I took that from them. Because that also enables you visualize it, see it, and you can also live it. Because you see it every day. It paints a picture in your memory. First of all, you need to set clear goals when you're having your vision board. Your goals must be clear. It must be achievable. And most importantly, it must be time bound. Don't ever leave any of your vision or your vision board open-ended. You might end up not doing it. It's okay to move the goalpost, but ensure that it's time bound. You can start gathering images and affirmation that emotionally resonate with that vision that you've written down, and speak those affirmations to yourself daily. The more you speak it, like I mentioned earlier, it's like a song that you keep listening to over and over again. Before you know it, that song becomes part of you. You start thinking it without even writing down the lyrics. That affirmation also helps. Every morning, I tell my 8-year-old that you're the best. You are the best. You're the best not because you're competing with your friend. You're the best because you're always better than your yesterday. Anytime, the last time I went to my son's school, the teacher, I don't know if he was reporting the young man to me or something, that anything that he tells my son, that my son will tell him that, sorry, my dad said I'm the best. And I am the best. So even, even when he has gotten the answers wrong or something, he actually wants the teacher to see why he chose that answer and why he believes that answer is right. So that is what vision board does for you. His cousin was having his birthday, younger cousin, and he called the cousin and said, you know what, my dad taught me how to make vision board, and I always tell you what my dad used to tell me, that I'm the best. I was like, okay. So when you're doing this vision board, don't do it for yourself, do it for your entire family. Have a period where you all sit down, right? And what that does is that when you do it with your entire family, it makes you accountable for each other. Everybody can rely on each other to ensure that we meet those goals. All right. Now, when you choose your affirmation, place that board. This is the most critical part of it, where you will see it daily to reinforce motivation. That board must be placed in a strategic location that there is no day you will pass by that space that you will not look up to it. You might think that, excuse me, you might think that you're just passing by. You're just passing by, or you're not seeing it, but it's been engraved in your brain. Anytime you pass by and you see it, it's just going deep down into your subconscious. Before you know it, it becomes part of you. Vision boarding is a powerful tool for success. I am a living testimony. Just to share a few, the first property I ever bought was with my vision board. I pasted the picture of my vision board and I put a time frame to it that before I'm 40, I must also become. And guess what? It happened. I left paid employment to start my own business. Initially, it was a bit of a struggle because I'm trying to build my own business. And I just told myself that, oh, okay, I need a remote job by so period. Because I said that I need a remote job, I started, you know, applying and applying. And your vision board just helps uncover so many things. And I realized that, hey, I'm becoming a dinosaur. I've not done anything to improve on myself in a while. If I've not put that vision of getting a new job on my vision board, I'll probably be still thinking that I'm cool, I'm well equipped for the future. Meanwhile, I was already becoming a dinosaur. I never knew that. But because I put on my vision board that I need to get a remote job so that as my business picks up, I would gradually, move into my business and leave that job as my business grows. But I never knew I was becoming a dinosaur. I had to go back and start reapplying for new courses to upgrade myself. Sometimes, without a vision board to guide you, you actually think you're doing so well because there's nothing you're measuring yourself against. If you don't have that vision board to guide you, sometimes you actually believe so much that you're doing extremely well because there's nothing you're measuring yourself against. You've not set a clear goal for yourself. Even if you have, it's probably written somewhere and hidden under your pillow, or you think that you've put it in your mind. But your vision board in a nice location keeps reinforcing that vision, that I can do mentality, that you'll be able to, and you can actually do it. Vision board also helps the brain internalize that vision as a reality. Do you understand? When you read that affirmation to yourself, when you see those pictures that you've drawn or you've cut out from the internet, and you see them every day, trust me, it will help, your brain will help internalize that vision. It now becomes part of you. You now become like obsessed with that vision, that it must happen. All right. So that is that about vision board. I did really prepare a slide for that, but I prepared a slide for the other topic, which is the growth mindset. So I'm going to be sharing a bit of a slide on that. So just give me 1 minute. Let me pick up that slide before we jump into questions. Let me see if I can share my screen. One second. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can.
Just give me 1 second. So because that slide was made for another presentation that I did for someone, growth mindset was part of it. So I just decided to reuse that same slide. So bringing a growth mindset, and leave the word client because this was a presentation I did for someone. So I'm just going to reuse it, right? If you guys don't mind. So,
But we're your clients, actually.
yeah, actually, that's a valid point, right? Everybody is your client. You must
Exactly.
always put your best foot forward. everyone is your client. That's actually very valid. Thank you for sharing that, Rose. I appreciate it. Now, growth mindset is a critical tool for your vision board. You need that mindset to ensure that you are actually growing and moving forward with that vision, with that goal that you set for yourself. And it was quick for me to realize, moving out of Nigeria into Canada was not as a result of desperation, because my wife and I were, we had good jobs back home. But one of the major things that we thought of at the point was like, okay, we have good job back home, but what about the future for the kids' education and all that? And I said, you know what? Let's do this for the kids. Growing up, most of us believe that once you get to the abroad, you are sorted for life. Once you get to the abroad, you are sorted for life. Unfortunately, that is not the case. There are people here that are homeless. There are people here that are struggling. There are people here that have been here for years that they've not been able to achieve anything. I was quick to realize that success is not about your location. Success is more of your mindset than
Sorry
the
to cut
location.
you. Two people said they're trying to join in. So sorry.
Oh,
Sorry to
okay.
cut.
Let me. I didn't get a prompt, but there's no one in the waiting room, Ari. Maybe they clicked the wrong link, so probably have to let them know. There's no one in the waiting room. So I was quick to
Sorry,
realize
can you
that.
open it up instead so that she doesn't have to always stop you, in the middle
Okay,
of
let me try
your.
and do that. Open it up. Just 1 second. See, when I say I'm becoming a dinosaur, even opening it up, I'm looking for. Ari, you're also a
Host
co-host.
controls.
Let me give Ari the control so that you can be admitting them and all that.
Okay.
I've added you as co-host, so go ahead. So, so I was quick to realize that success has absolutely nothing to do with your location. It's more of your mindset. To be fair, some location can enhance your success. They can serve as a platform to make things faster. But it's more about your mindset than your location. So that is where growth mindset comes in. A growth mindset is that belief, that you can always improve. A growth mindset is that yearning for continuous learning. A growth mindset is even when you're asked to come and present, even when you're the lecturer, even with your PhD, you still have that open mind that you can learn from other people. One of my mentors, Pastor Sam Adeyemi, said something very profound. He said, the more you learn, the more you realize that the less you know. When he said that, I was like, okay, what are you saying? The more you learn, that means you're learning. And I said, guess what? When you are moving forward after your master's, you now want to start doing your doctorate, your professor, you now start narrowing down. You start narrowing down. So you can be a professor of quantum physics or professor of nuclear physics. That means you're focused on one aspect of physics, like Ari said. So you don't only know everything about nuclear physics, but a little about quantum physics. So the more you think you know, the less you know. Because as you learn, you start finding area of interest and you start narrowing down your learning to that particular area. That is why growth mindset is extremely important. It opens your mind to learning. Now, let's compare growth mindset to fixed mindset. Fixed mindset takes feedback as this person doesn't like me. This person just wants to damage my relationship. While a growth mindset seeks feedback as a gift, as it's only someone that cares about you that gives you a feedback, whether positive or negative. If you have that growth mindset, all you need to do is to learn from those feedback and use that to improve on yourself. But if you have a fixed mindset, you see that feedback as, oh, this person is just criticizing me, this person doesn't like me, and you will not see the impact or the good thing in that feedback that they are giving you. I'll give you an example. So I teach in children's church, and my son is in my class. I've been teaching in children's church for a long time. I said something and I compared him to someone. This was last week. I was teaching them the same thing, vision board. I was teaching the kids vision boarding. And I compared him to someone and his face just changed. I knew I said something wrong. And I took him outside. Hey, I talked to myself as my friend. So we're very close. I was like, hey, buddy, what have I done wrong? I just don't like it when you compare me to other people because I'm me. He is him. He's 8. And I told him I was sorry. And I went back to class with full of kids from 8 to like 11. And I had to apologize to him in front of everybody that I just learned something that I did wrong to my son and blah, blah, blah. And, I had to apologize to him. Come and see feedback from the kids. That's how my mother used to do this. That's how my dad used to do that. Do you understand? And it's amazing that we don't realize the damage those things do to our kids. So you also need to raise them with that mindset of appreciating feedback. And I told him that, thank you for giving me that feedback. I've learned something new. And when you have a growth mindset, it views setback as opportunities for learning. Again, I would use myself as an example because that's the best way I can relate to it. So recently, yes, excuse me, having a lot of ideas, writing down, trying to grow my ideas and all that. And I said, you know what? Where is the future? And that's where, what can I do to be part of the future, regardless of what my age is and everything? And all I've done all my life is sales and relationship management. Even in the banking sector, in all my years in the banking sector, I've always done relationship management and sales. And so I was like, okay, what is next? You've done financial sales all your life. What is next? So I said, okay, let me try tech sales. I just kept applying to fintech with my banking resume. I just found out that, they just keep, rejecting me and rejecting me and rejecting me. Initially I was angry that, can't they see the experience, the years of experience? Can't they see my LinkedIn and people that have given me recommendation? What are these people talking about? Then I had to go because of my growth mindset, because I know that I have to learn. I went to my HR professional who was supposed to be my wife. He actually was the one that searched for a program on tech education for me online. And that is what I'm currently doing. So that growth mindset makes you see opportunities, makes you learn from setbacks. And it also gives you that comfort or that acknowledgement that, oh, okay, I've learned from this thing, I'm better than yesterday. Do you understand? Well, if someone has a fixed mindset, they're like, oh, they don't like taking risks. If you have a fixed mindset, they don't like taking risks. I had a friend that we're talking about electric cars. And my friend was telling me that, I was telling my friend that, I've seen a documentary where they started making roads that, allows electric car drive and it to be charging automatically. I said, no, it can never happen. How can they do that? That. What do you know what the risk is? Do you know what that is? Okay. I was like, no, me, I'm a realist. I'm this. I'm always very realistic. It's not possible. And I avoid arguments as much as I can. I just told the person that as long as I can think about it, means it's possible. And if I make mistake along the way, I've found out that there's one way that I cannot achieve what I want to achieve. Fortunately for me, there was a full video on YouTube of a street in, was it Switzerland or somewhere, that is fully electric, that a car can actually drive on it and recharge. It was like it was a test, it was on the test phase, and I had to share it with that person. When you have a fixed mindset, let me explain what that does. So you're looking for your money, for instance, and you kept it somewhere, you can't remember. And let me tell you how our brain works with the growth and the fixed mindset. And you're not looking for your money. The first thing you tell yourself is that I don't know where that money is. I can't remember where I kept the money. It sends a signal to your brain immediately to stop searching. I don't know where it is. So your brain starts thinking that, oh, I can't find it. But if you tell your brain back, oh, where was the last place I went to? It starts playing back all what. So it's the same way with fixed and growth mindset. Now, when you are looking at, engaging people from and people have different minds, people have different fields. I belong to a group, and I'll keep sharing examples so that I can really drive on the point. I belong to a group, my secondary school friends, and I have this guy that recently moved maybe from Nigeria to the UK, and he's always saying bad things about Nigeria. Oh, Nigeria is this. Oh, Nigeria is that. Oh, Nigeria is this. Oh, Nigeria is that. And I keep telling him that, look, the more you see something bad in something, you will never see the advantage of that thing. Because your mind is so fixed, to that, bad thing about Nigeria, that you're not seeing the opportunity in Nigeria. And because of my own mindset, that it's a growth mindset, I always see opportunity and the good in people. And that has actually really, really helped me move. Now, to Rose's point, we are all clients. So how does growth mindset lead to better relationships generally? So let's even leave clients out of it, right? One, with a growth mindset, it helps you listen to feedback. You see feedback more as a gift and more as an opportunity to reflect on what the person is saying, pick what it needs for you, and lead it. You must not always pick everything from somebody's feedback, but it gives you the opportunity to reflect and to learn and see that feedback as a gift. Now, a growth mindset also helps your creativity and your imagination. With a growth mindset, you see that everything is possible. Nobody can tell you otherwise. A growth mindset should also allow you to celebrate your small wins. And that's why I asked that question when we first started, that should we totally forget about the past or totally erase the past? But I'm glad everybody answered that. No, learn from it, but don't erase. Because if you take time to appreciate where you're coming from, you'll be able to celebrate where you are. If you take time to appreciate where you're coming from, you'll be able to celebrate where you are. All right? And most importantly, when you have that growth mindset, it gives you that I can do mentality, and projects you and promotes you forward all the time. So there is a link between growth mindset and your vision board. You have to be able to marry it together. They both actually work hand in hand. Right? So just to do a bit of a recap, and I can start opening the door for questions. When you're doing your vision board, writing down your goal, it's okay to write in a book. But remember that the book will be kept somewhere, and you might have to start looking for the book. Sometimes you might not even remember where the book is or where you've written down your goals. And that's why when people are making New Year resolution, they're writing it down, they're doing it. You find that 90% of it is not done. But when you have a vision board and you place that board in a strategic location, I'm a testimony to this. My kids also can testify to this. I can guarantee you that you achieve almost 80, if not 90% of that goal, because it helps you internalize it, especially when it's pictorial. It helps you see it, it helps you see it more, it helps you want it more. Especially when that vision board is placed in a strategic area. You might think that you're not seeing it, but it's entering your subconscious on a daily basis. And vision board also helps you appraise yourself. You can just look at the vision board and you just tell yourself, am I really where I'm supposed? Am I really following this thing? Am I really doing? That's why I said that there are two people in life that you cannot lie to. You cannot lie to God. I cannot lie to yourself. You can lie to any other person. You will not know whether you're lying or you're saying the truth. Right? But to yourself, you know whether you're doing it or not. You know whether you are following that vision or not. You know whether you are in line with that vision or not. And vision board also gives you that creative opportunity. You must start with one vision and it will lead to something else, and it will lead to another, and it will lead to another, and it will lead to another. And most importantly today, once you start your vision boarding, please do it as a family, so you can hold each other accountable. Every year we have a meeting on vision boarding, and don't just write a vision board because you don't want to write a vision board. Make sure it's meeting a particular purpose. So arrange first presentation. Do you want to give back to people? Do you want to impact lives? What exactly is your vision? What exactly is your goal? Vision board helps bring it to light. So yearly, our own vision board is centered around spiritual growth, personal growth, sports, I'm very sporty, and academic growth. And academic growth is the fact that it's what we agree with the kids and ourselves. I don't really like reading that much, unfortunately for me. I don't enjoy reading, but I'm very visual, right? Maybe that's why Collar is always a step ahead of me in primary school, Harry. I don't really like reading, but I can be very so I can play back today, 6 years from now, and I'll tell you what exactly happened. So in my university days, even when I was doing my master's, I always make sure I'm in front and I'm listening very, very well. I just do small jotting of some key points. When exam comes, I'll go to those points and play back that lecture in my head. That is how I'll be passing my exams. Don't get me wrong, not that I don't read, but I'm not the effico kind of reading like my wife or my son or my daughter that read and read and read. Yeah, I do a bit of reading, but I'm more of a visual person. So anytime anybody is teaching me or telling me anything, I make sure I listen attentively and make sure I jot a few points, and that is how I move on. Another key thing of vision board where you hold yourself accountable, especially when you do with family, is to take feedback and ask for feedback. It was based on the feedback that I asked that my wife was able to tell me that, hey, you need to go and upgrade yourself. But I felt that my years of experience in banking is more than enough to take me anywhere. But guess what? I was wrong. It's because of the feedback through our vision boarding session that she gave me those feedback and I took it. I didn't say, oh, what do you know? Do you know how many years I've been in banking or that? No. Anytime I meet with any of my mentors, I try to schedule down or I have opportunity to talk with them. I make those time very valuable. Most of my vision today is what I learned from some of my mentors, but they don't know it because I pick every little thing they say. The business I do today was as a result of the conversation I had with one of my mentors. And I'll share that with you so that you guys will understand where I'm coming from. I was in an office. I was in our office on Awolowo Road in Ikoyi. I came from Nigeria and I called her that I wanted to go and see her and everything. And we got discussing, talking about real estate and everything, you know. And anytime I talk to her, I pick everything. Sometimes I wish I go with a pen and paper, but I don't want to make it obvious, but I just listen. So she now said to me that, oh, there's a product that one of our sisters sells, and those products that I can try it, I can, like it and everything. I tried the product, I started bringing the product to Nigeria, to Canada. But guess what? Today, my company is a full consulting company that helps Nigerian company establish in North America. From doing market research of the North American market, for helping you get all the required licenses that you need, for helping you look for offices, helping you open bank accounts, helping you with recruitment. As I speak to you, we are working with 4 companies that are coming from Nigeria and expanding into Canada. And that idea came from that single conversation with one of my mentors that, look, you can actually sell this product abroad. I was like, okay, instead of selling it abroad, what if I consult for that company, help them establish their business here, get my consulting fee? And sometimes because you stay here, some of this company decide to partner with you. Let me give you a good example of one of the clients that we work with. So this guy has a big palm kernel farm, so they do palm oil. So we had a program in Nigeria, and he came for that program. And we're talking about how people buy those products from him and take it to Canada to sell. And they come to Nigeria and buy the product from him in Naira and take. So immediately I go back, I just put on my vision that, okay, I need to start helping companies in Nigeria to make more, to make more money in terms of foreign exchange and expand their client base. Do you understand? I understand the why, but then I didn't know the how. But because I understood the why, it was easier for me to know the how I'm going to go about it. So I spoke to the guy, do you know what? What about if I help register your company in Canada, help you get all the regulatory licensing, and you ship those palm oil to yourself and you become the distributor of your own product? One, the product becomes cheaper because you've cut off the middleman. Two, you start making FX for yourself directly because you're shipping the product to your own sister company in Canada and you're distributing that product within Canada because there's a growing population of Afro-Caribbean population in Nigeria. So we help you with the market research, we help you with everything that you need, we help you with all the licenses, register the company, open the bank account for him, and their first shipment is coming in. If I had not had that thing on my vision, I probably not think it's possible to do that. So once you have your vision board, again, most importantly for today, ensure don't do it for yourself because, like your group says, power mom. So ensure that you power that mom to every member of your family, including your husband and your kids and everybody. So have a session, tell them about vision board, ensure everybody, because if the kids know what we know today at their age, they will get to their destination way faster. My son set up his first business at the age of 8. He started selling bracelets. I put it on my LinkedIn page. He sent me in fact, I pasted a letter on my LinkedIn page. He wrote me that, Dad, I'm talking to you as your boss, not as your son. Please help me make a complimentary card. He's 8. But I always tell them that you are 10 times better than me. You know why? Because what you know now, I never thought about it at your age. So vision board is not just only for you, but for the entire family. And it's extremely important. If you really want to go far, you must have a clear vision, a clear goal. If you really want to go far, like Habakkuk 2:2 said, make your vision plates, write it down. And not just writing it down, it matters how you write it down. Like I said, it's okay to write it on a piece of paper. It's okay to write it on a notebook. But remember that sometimes you can misplace that notebook. Sometimes I don't even remember to open that notebook in God knows how many more before the year runs out. But if you have a board that is strategically placed in your house that you pass through there every day, you will think that you're not seeing it, but it's being registered in your subconscious every day. One day you just pass by it, and that has happened to me so many times. I was just stand in front of that vision, I'm like, okay, Torai, you've not done this, you've not done this, you've not done this, you've not done this. Why are you on this and why are you on this one? So that is the power of vision board. And for vision board to be successful, you must have a growth mindset. And you must be open to feedback and see feedback as a gift. Thank you, everyone. So I'm open to questions right now, so that won't take our time. Ari, over to you. You're muted.
It's Rose, actually. It's Rose that is.
Oh, sorry, over to you.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Babajide. It's always a pleasure hearing from you every now and then. Okay, so it's time for questions. And I want to believe that we would have one or two questions that would like to throw at him. And to start with me, because I have two questions I want to ask. But I particularly like this topic because it's biblical. What you're just teaching us is very biblical, so I particularly like it. Just reminds me of that scriptural verse in Habakkuk 2, verse 2 to 3 that says, "And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables." So it means that there must be a board like a table, yeah, and that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end of it, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Do it tarry, wait for it, but it will surely come. It will not tarry. So it's a wonderful topic that aligns with what God's will is for us. Want us to always have a plan for our life in everything that we do. Like he has a plan for us when he says it's thought for us, is thought for us out of good and not of evil. So he has a thought and a plan for us. So thank you so much. So my question will be that the first question, just a minute, let me go to my notes. So my first question will be that have people been successful without a vision board? Because while you were speaking, it looked as though, Omo, if you want to make it in this life, if you don't have vision board, you are on your own. Like you are just going Fernanda Pole. But have people been actually successful without vision boards? Like I just need that explanation.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and that's a very tricky question as well.
Later. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what I mean by that's a very good question, and that's also a very tricky question. I would say yes, people have been successful without a vision board. But if you don't have a vision board, it limits your success. If you're supposed to go 100 kilometers per hour with a vision board, without having a vision board, you'll be going like 30 or 40 kilometers per hour. Vision board helps you get your destination faster. Now, I didn't start vision board from childhood, right? And I've always been a very determined person and a goal-getter right from childhood. I'm being very competitive. And I've always also affirmed to myself that, hey, I am going to be successful. I tell myself that every blessed day, from childhood, from going from a toddler with my grandmother, and God bless her where she is. She had been the one holding me to church every day from childhood till, in fact, she was the one that raised me because my parents go to work every day. Do you understand? And because she has raised me, sometimes our environment is also a good influence to our success. Like I said, if you're going at 40 kilometers per hour or 30 kilometers per hour without a vision board can help you go 100 kilometers per hour because it's now clearer. It's now written down. You now understand your goal better. You understand you're not moving left, right, and center. You're now focused. The vision board helps you to be more focused. It helps you to be more targeted. It helps you to move faster. And most importantly, vision board blocks all distractions away. Moving without a vision board, you can easily get distracted. That is how you see people that are extremely good and they're good kids, and before you know it, just this person used to be a very good kid. What happened? What happened? What went wrong? Right? But a vision board keeps you focused, gives you that growth mindset, keeps you engaged. So yes, it's possible to succeed without having a vision board. I'm not saying it's anybody that uses a vision board, but a vision board just helps you focus and gets all distraction away, blocks all distraction away. So that's what I've learned from using vision board. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you so much. Okay, so the next question is, in that vision board, do you put do you write your failures in it? Because you talked about it sounds funny, right? Because you talked about um how your failures are meant to remind you of whatever you have ahead of you, how the failures are meant to push you, you know. So is it that or is it just positives that you have on your vision board?
On my vision board, yeah, it's only positive. And if you remember when we started, I asked that question that should we totally erase our past or learn from it to move forward? That was the first question that
Yeah,
I asked.
yeah.
And that question just answered this question that you're asking. You learn from it, like Ada and Comfort said, but don't dwell on it. Writing failures on your vision board means you are dwelling on it. The same way your positive vision will be engraved in your mind, the same way if you write your failures on it, it will also be. So you now have like conflicting messages going down through your brain. Learn from it, don't dwell on it, move on. And moving on from your failure is start a new positive behavior that will address what you have learned. So that positive behavior that will address what you have learned is what will be on your vision board. And the failure in the past is a reminder of where you're coming from, on where you are and where you're heading. So it's okay to, remember the past, don't dwell on it. If you have something about the past that, sorry, 1 second. If you have something about the past that you want to change, right? What I would suggest you do is think of a positive thing that will address that past that you're trying to do, and that is what you put. Your vision board must always be positive. You cannot be putting anything negative on your vision. How can you be visualizing negative things?
Mm, mm.
I don't miss. Hello,
Jide,
yes,
well
ma'am.
done. And it's a privilege for me to be here. And good afternoon or good morning,
Thank you,
ladies.
ma'am.
This has been very useful for
Please
me.
get your notes and paper,
And
get your pen and paper. When she speaks, you
and
get
we
to know.
just keep learning, as it says. We keep learning. You don't say because somebody is your mentee or mentor, you learn from each other
Yes, ma'am.
because there are new ways of doing things. And Jide is a phenomenal person. He calls me his mentor, but I call him my mentor as well because I learn from him all the time. And this vision board thing is extremely important. As you said, it's a success tool that we should all, work with. But I mean, I would say that I haven't worked with it, and I'm going to become deliberate about it. I've tried to. So what I was going to say, but before I go into that was, when she was talking about failure, should we write our failures or whatever? Just as you said, celebrate your small wins and your progresses.
Yeah.
Your failures, you can acknowledge them, but you don't write them as failures. It becomes action points for you. So say maybe you've always beat yourself down, you talk yourself down and everything, and you would just say, I will affirm myself. I will speak, positive. So rather than couch it as I have failed in this way, what, as he said, that positive step that you're going to take to address it is what perhaps you should capture on your vision board. That's what we cannot totally run away from our past or our failures, but we don't dwell on it and just take positive steps to correct it. So that's what I would say. when you were talking about phases.
Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do
Thank
we
you
have
so much.
any other questions?
Yes, we do. There is in the
Comment.
comments, the comment section.
Yes,
Yeah.
Can you read that out?
Yes.
You
Let
know,
me quickly read it. Yeah. So,
I would have loved if my 8-year-old was up. I would have asked him to speak, because you hear another perspective of vision board from a kid's perspective, and you'll be shocked about what you learn. Right? It belongs to a group that my wife is studying for. They are called Kings. So it's a group of young boys from, I think, from 5 to about 10, where they have meetings every Saturday, and they discuss, they give themselves tasks and all that. And when it talks about the vision board, I shared his vision board. And you can see here, this is from 2023. So he didn't start today. He thought all this one up. And this is his vision from, and we broke it down into, he put it here that he's going to be reading 3 books per month. And I think he has read more than 3. Basketball, and like I said, look at here, a scripture every year. I can do all things through Christ and strengthens me. So we break it down into spiritual, academics. So you need to break that vision board down into, and like I said initially, we hold ourselves accountable. And please do me a favor, one thing I've learned, don't ever tell a child to shut up. Don't ever. Shut up your mouth. Keep quiet. No. If they are pestering you, say, do you mind if I get back to you later? Do you mind if I speak to you later? Immediately you tell a child to shut up or keep quiet, you are killing their imagination, their creativity, and they will start caving. You are killing their self-confidence. I never tell my kids to shut up. Never. Every morning, I kiss both of them on their forehead and tell them they are the best. I don't miss it. And you see the result. And I let them know that I'm also learning from them. So let's take the question from the...
yes. Yeah. So from the comment section, we have Funke Amaumi ask that, please, is the vision board the same as mood board?
Same as what?
Mood board, MOOD, mood board.
I would say a no. To be fair, I've not heard about mood board, but from the name, maybe you're just trying to explain your mood or your feelings. I could be wrong. I've never heard of that before. But what vision board is to clearly write down your goals from the year. Make your vision board achievable. Make sure it's something that you can do. Ensure it's time bound. There's a time to it. And when you see that you're getting closer to that time and you've not been able to, it's okay to extend it. I've extended my vision board like once or twice. But what I've done is, once I've extended twice, I'm not going to extend it third time. I'm gonna make sure I do it before the next one. So vision board is totally different from mood board. Mood board is probably trying to explain the mood that you are, what you're feeling, and all that. That's my literal explanation to that. But for vision board, it talks more about your goal, where you're going, what you want to do, what you want to achieve, where do you want to achieve it, and how do you. So you need to break it down. Like my son, he wrote there that he wants to improve in his reading, French and English. How does he do that? Writing down that you want to improve in English is vague. That's not vision board. But he broke it down that I will read 3 books per month. That will enable me improve in my reading and in my writing. So your vision board must be specific. Don't say, I want to be a millionaire by the end of the year. How are you going to be that millionaire? I'll invest 10 naira every day. I'll save 2 naira every day. Your vision board must be specific.
Sorry,
Yes,
Please let me quickly add something to that person that asked the difference between mood board and if mood
Vision
board
board.
is as a vision board. So from what I understand by a mood board is okay, like for instance, we use it in marketing campaign all the time, a lot of times. So let's say you have a campaign you're working on, you can create, okay, let's say like a storyboard kind of. So a mood board, this is okay, let's say you want to, okay, you have a picture working on, right? So you have pictorial representation of those things to give an idea, it's for branding, to share, create an atmosphere so you understand what we are trying to build. So it is not really vision, it is not really goal oriented. It's just to create a kind of, okay, this is, so like when you are pitching to a client, so the client can see what is in your head, right? So that is what a mood board is. But a vision board is a board for your vision. Like a mood board can be for like, this is the project we are working on. So people that are not really on this project, we can sell this idea to them. Beautiful. While the vision board is, this is our goal. This is our focus per time. This is what we want to achieve. And this is what we are going to do to get there. Yeah.
See, I mean, thank you for saving me. See my explanation of mood board, but see your explanation of mood board. That's how I've been saying it when marketing people are doing like, Kino Benny, what are you talking about? So that is the importance of
Not learn every day. It's part of the growth
that's the
mindset.
importance of having a growth mindset.
If your
You
son,
understand?
if Joe comes now, he'll say something, and I'm gonna hide my head. I'm gonna hide my face.
So that's the importance of having a growth mindset, right? So like I said from the beginning, I don't know, but from the word, this is what I think it is. But now I know better, right? Vision board is specific, is a goal. It tells you where you are, where you're going, and how you're going to get there. That is a vision board. Where you are, where you're going, and the how. Like I said, my son didn't just put, I'm going to get straight A's. I'm going to start writing better or reading better. It strictly put there, I'll read 3 books a month. That 3 books a month would achieve all those other things that you have listed. All right. So, yes. Any next question, please?
Okay, yes, yes. The same person still asked another question. She said that are we supposed to use it every year or envision a long-term journey? I don't know what she means by that, but at least from the first question, the first part, you can hear her say, "Are we supposed to use it? Do it every year? Are we supposed to do it every year, like the vision board?"
Yes, the answer is yes. I've been using Vision Board since 2009. That's actually when I started. I learned it from a friend. And if I really want to achieve something, I really want to get it done fast. I put it on my Vision Board. And I give all thanks to God. There's nothing, and not from the point of right, there's nothing I've written on my Vision Board that I've not achieved. Even this, my moving to Canada was on my Vision Board. There's absolutely nothing. Vision board also helps you build your self-confidence. Now, it's okay to have a long-term goal, a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal, and a 15-year, whatever long-term goal. But it's also okay to break down those long goals into yearly goals that would sum up to your 10-year goal. If you just leave it at a 10-year goal, you might get tired along the way. But when you break, that's why there is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You don't have to eat everything in the morning. Just in the morning. So when you have a long-term goal, it's always good to break it down yearly. That will sum up to your long-term goal, right? I will give an example of my project Ignite. My project Ignite is a long-term goal, right? But I've been able to break it down into a yearly goal. And when you are breaking down your goal and you are writing down your vision board, I've not mentioned it, but just write it down. Always include your partner in success, people that will help you achieve those goals. It could be your kids, it could be your family, it could be your mentor. Do you understand? It could be anybody. Now, when you put down those people, because you've not described those visions to them, they might not agree with you. Like I said, when I told my friend about Project Ignite in the US, I said, it can never be done. It's not possible. You can't, Nigeria, no way, forget it. I'm not in. But because I've written down that vision, and I penciled him down as my partner to enable me achieve that vision. So because I was focused on what I want to do, it was easier for me to erase his name. And today, I have a contract with University of Waterloo. They be doing all the content. I have 4 states that are interested in Project Ignite and personally invite me to meet with the state governor in Nigeria. Imagine if I'm listening to him. Because Project Ignite is a Pan-African project. So imagine if I'm listening to somebody I've penciled down as a partner to enable me achieve my vision. And that is why growth mindset and vision board comes hand in hand. So remember, even when you write down some people that would help you get to that goal or help you achieve those visions, they might not at first align with you. It could be your husband, it could be your kid. Remember that. It could be anybody. But as the vision starts becoming more and more real, one, you earn more respect when that thing becomes visible. It increases your self-confidence that, yes, I did it. All right. Please go ahead, Ma. You're muted, Ma.
Sorry. I just wanted to ask a question because, you know, your success with your vision board, it also tends to be a function of your personality and the sort of person you are, I believe. You're a very driven, very focused person. When you say you want to do something, you're able to do it. It's one thing to write a vision board, to have goals, to have plans, promises, but to be able to just put it into execution mode, it takes a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
There will be so many things just working against you, your mind, or I can't do this. But you have this idea. So it just comes, the ideas come, you write it on your board, but you're just not able, there's inertia, you're not able to move on. You are able to move on because that's just the sort of person you are. A lot of people are just not able to get past that vision board, that thing being on the board. So how do you help people like that? Is there going to be some sort of accountability, hand holding, or what are the things? You know, because you should be able to go back to somebody in a month's time, apart from the people that are going to help you along the way, to say, I have done this or I haven't done this. Because otherwise, it's just there on the vision board. You're saying it to yourself every day, I have to do this, I want to do this, but you're just not. And I don't know if a lot of people are there. I suspect a lot of people have that problem.
Okay.
So there's some level of accountability and hand-holding, I think, to help people get past this.
I totally agree with you, Ma. And for me, like I said from the beginning, it's like singing a song. The more you listen to it, the more you learn the song, and you just find that you start singing the song without even writing down the lyrics, right? And that's the way I see my vision board. I place it in a strategic location, and that's why I also mentioned from the beginning that there are 2 people that I can't lie to: God and yourself. And once you know that you can't lie to yourself, you start holding yourself accountable. That's the first thing, right? And the more you pass through that vision board and you see it, believe it or not, it keeps registering in your subconscious. It might not be immediate, but the more you see it, the more you register in your subconscious. The more you see it, the more you register in your subconscious is actually a very powerful tool. It's from your subconscious that you bring it to the next level. All right. And to your point, man, when you said accountable, when we're doing our vision board, we do it as a family. So we all hold ourselves accountable. So myself, my wife, and my kids. We dedicate one whole day to write our vision, discuss it, and how we want to achieve it. Now, another thing that the way I do my vision board is that I also, structure it in a way that while doing it, I'm also having fun. And let me explain what I mean. One of my vision for this year is, to give back to people, right, in the best way that I can. So how can I give back to people? I like volunteering. I like, speaking at events and all that. So what I did was to start, putting myself out there to speak to people and all that. And for me, the very first one that I achieved on my vision board, I celebrated. That celebration gives me the energy to go for the next one. As I meet the next one too, I celebrate myself. It gives me the energy to, like to your point, it's also very possible to just for it to end there. But because we did as a family, that accountability always help. And also, once you share that vision with a friend with like minds, like I said, it's not everyone that will believe in your vision. You must, sometimes you get some people that will discourage you, like the example that I gave. If I listen to my friend, I'm very sure I will not have sent those proposals to those governors, to the people that I know. And by now, the governor will not even, you know, have invited me to come, right? And when there is a vision and you write it down, you just find out that when I was talking about law of nature, you just find out that everything will just be aligning. People will just be coming that start speaking to that thing. Things will just be coming around. But because there is a vision board, you realize those things and you see those people and you know how to plug in to achieve what you're trying to achieve. Yes, initially it can be difficult, but because it's written down and because we are Christ-like, there's one thing that I've always carried me in life, that I've always carried my kids. I tell everybody in children's church. When God created man, he said clearly that he created us in his image and in his likeness. Look like him, we behave like him. And the Bible also says that he gave the breath of life into Adam. So my pastor that was preaching this, let's say we should all breathe in and breathe out. That for God to give Adam the breath of life, that he took everything inside of him and poured it inside Adam. The day you realize that you are like God, the day your energy towards things will change, because you stop thinking failure, you stop thinking lack. Failure and lack is mentality. The day, even if you don't have a food on your table, you stop thinking, I'm going to share it. It's not a very good story, so I'm going to share it. So sometime last year,
Before you go on, I wanted to say what has worked for me also that I would just like to share with the other lady is that I get someone, you know her, she's probably your mentor as well, Stella. We
yeah,
say to each other, write a profile of yourself or
mm,
what you would like to be described as in
mm,
5 years' time. So you say
okay,
Shugu is an accomplished banker, entrepreneur with philanthropic, whatever, happily married. And that is how you want to be seen in 5 years' time. So you write it, you document it. It's
mm,
idealist and everything, but then you start working, and that has worked. We did this together, I think about 10 years ago. 2 years later, we reviewed it, and I can tell you, to the glory of God, I can tick at least 8 of those things that I wrote in that profile, and I was not there then. That I have achieved it because I keep saying this is how I want to be seen in 5 years' time. And so you start working towards it. So you know where you want to be, or I mean, there might be some detours or anything, but it keeps you focused. So on that vision board, perhaps you should have a profile of how you want people, where you want to be in 5 years' time. When they say that thing, it just seems like it doesn't mean anything, but it goes a long way. And then I pick of those things. The ones I think I cannot do, those are the ones I target first. So the ones that you're afraid to do, try and target those ones first. It pushes you, and you would find that we are able to do, as you said, a lot more than we think we can. Just do it afraid, and don't be scared of failure. It's not a cliche. We need to turn our brains into action mode. GJ came into Canada or whatever and said, I want to do this, I want to do this. I'm sure he's tried his hands on some other things that haven't worked, have not been perfect, but he's just got up and gone and done it. I think a lot of us, we think, overthink, we paralyze, and just turn your brain and your body into action mode. I say that's the sort of person I am. I'm more action than talking. Just get up and do it afraid. It's not a cliche. It works, honestly. And with God on our side, it backs up. He honors that faith. You need to believe him like a child, blindly, and just move. And with that vision, of course, the vision board right in front of you every day. That's what I will share before you talk about that story you were going to share with us.
Thank you so much. I've never done this before, but I'm going to do that. Document my profile. I've been trying to build my brand lately. Trying to build myself when I started speaking, and that I would do. So just to share sometimes how things can be challenging. So we wrote vision for last year, and towards the last quarter, my wife had a good job. She worked with Shopify, the biggest tech company in Canada, as an HR business partner. She was lecturing in schools and everything. All of a sudden, everything just changed. She loved the lecturing job. She loved her job with Shopify. And my business was just growing. So there was a whole lot of stress on both of us. When I mean stress, I mean a whole lot of financial stress, multiple income. And what helped us was the vision that we wrote, that we stuck with. Losing jobs was never part of the vision. My business doing well, whatever part of the vision. That is why you don't write your failures on your vision board. And my wife just said to herself that before the year runs out, that's why I said you can always change your vision and your goal. And because we know that God is always on our side, so she wrote that she's going to have a new job. I just said that vision, going to have a new job by December. And she joined. And guess what? Your vision prepares you for the future. I'm not sure I said that. So before now, my wife had done courses on change management. She did human analytics. She did project management. She was just doing all those courses. That's what I said she likes to read. And not knowing that those courses, she was writing as part of her vision to improve herself. But she didn't know that those courses was preparing her for the future. So she joined a change management group and all that she was looking for a job. She wanted to do a change management role and everything. And like I said, your vision board keeps you focused. So she applied for some tech jobs, but she was coming from a tech company, and she got to the final stage. And she didn't get the job. She would start crying. Blah, blah. I said, but auntie, you wrote on your vision that it's change management that you want. There's no tech job on your vision again. So why are you crying about not getting a tech HR job? You've changed your vision, change management. So why are you, crying? She wiped her tear. Guess what? December on the dot, December 1st, she got a new job with Salvation Army as change management and human relations manager. But the most interesting thing about this new job and how your vision board prepares you for your future without you knowing is, one, she has done all those certifications that she needed, not knowing that she was going to go into change management, because it was part of her self-improvement ambition for the year. Two, that particular job, and this is where, when you do your part, God will always do his part. That's for sure. That particular job was job watch in 2023 January. Meaning they've been looking for people since 2023 January for that role. Guess what? In the change management group she belongs to, lots of people have applied for that role, and they're offering them $90,000 a year, and they still didn't get the job. She was interviewed in November 2024. She got the job. They asked her how much she wanted to be paid. It was the exact amount she wanted they gave her. They even argue. They asked her when she wants to resume. She said December. They didn't argue. Meanwhile, when she was doing all those courses based on self-improvement, she didn't know she was going to lose her job with the tech company. She didn't know she was going to move fully into change management. That's her own part. My own part is, and this is where vision board is extremely important. It keeps you focused. I left Nigeria as probably a senior manager in a bank. I was almost, but I've already gotten my principal manager because they were trying to keep me to stay back. But I didn't take it because I had to move. And I worked in the bank here for about 4 years, did commercial banking and everything. So everything always aligns with your vision board. I did commercial banking for 4 years and I started my company. But every time I go back to LinkedIn, and this goes to accountability and talking to your mentors about your vision sometimes. I go back on my LinkedIn, I see my colleagues, they are now group head, Some of them are now AGM, some are GM. And these are people that were all senior managers together. And I asked myself, hey, have I taken the right decision by leaving Nigeria, or have I made the right decision by leaving the banking sector in the first place? That this business is not growing. Fast forward January, I was sharing this testimony with Ari. A friend of mine called me from Moody's Analytics. Moody's Analytics is the top lending company in the UK. They reached out to me that they need a sales trainer for their commercial banking. If I could come and help them with the training. I said yes. Why not? So I prepared for it. I went there. But what I'm saying is, because I prepared for it and went, I did a great job. What they are paying me daily, I have a 13 days job. What I earn daily is what I earn per weekly in the last bank that I work in Canada. Daily is what I was paid bi-weekly in my, because here in Canada they pay bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks before the end, that's when they get paid. Is what I earn every 2 weeks. That is what vision board and having someone to be accountable can help you. So it goes back to that part of vision board keeping you focused. No side. Our job loss was more of a distraction, but we didn't panic. My business was not growing at that time, was more of a distraction, but we didn't panic. But because we're focused on the vision we had, I was focused on my project Ignite, things started turning out because I kept on doing it. I kept on doing it. You might not see it, it's just like planting a seed. The root will first go down first to be firm before you start seeing the tree come up. So all those work that you're working is this root going down, putting the vision there, working towards that vision is the root going down so that you can be firm and be strong. So when that vision start coming up, start growing to become a big tree, it's not going to go bend, it's not going to grow, and no wind is going to come and blow it away. So that's what I wanted to share, that point of focus is what the vision board has given me. Thank you. Let's go back to the question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Babajide. Thank you so much for the answers. They're quite profound. Because we're pressed with time, I'll just take. I noticed that 2 people raised their hands earlier, but they put it down. But let me just be sure that they probably don't want to talk again. What's that? Ada, I saw Ada raise her hands. Ada and Eniola, are they still here? Ada, you raised your hand at the time. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Grace raised her hands. Yes, not Eniola, Ewola. Yeah. All right. Okay, Grace, you can go ahead. Maybe Ada will talk later.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
we can hear you.
my network was a bit bad, but from the few that I got, you said the purpose of a vision board is to have focus, right? For focus. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, it helps you with focus.
Yeah.
Yes.
My question is this vision board, is it for everybody? Because I find that fear is a bigger motivation for me than having a vision board. And here's a scenario that informs this question. In my hostel, my room particularly, everybody, like, having a vision board was like the rave. They had pictures up on their walls, and I decided to copy that because at that point, Unilag was showing me Shege, and I wanted to like be focused. So they had pictures of places that they wanted to be, like once I'm done with school, if I finish with this XYZ CGPA, I'm going to this is where I'm going to go to. And because my brother is also like that, my brother did excellently well in his when he was an undergraduate in school, and it was because of the fact that he did very well and he had a good CGPA. That was why he was able to travel and do so well abroad. So I had those pictures up on my wall too, like every other person. But then I find that every time I come back tired and I look at that picture, there's no motivation at all. But then when I some, like when I have quotes like pain is temporal, but your CGPA is forever, it prompts me to wake up, even no matter how hard it is, no matter how sick I am. It's just the fact that my CGPA is temporal, my CGPA is permanent, but pain is temporal. It just wakes me up. Like, just, I can't even sleep again. So, is that unhealthy? Or am I the only person that is majorly motivated by fear?
Well, I'm not motivated by fear, and I'm not a psychologist. I might not be able to address that very well, but I'll try and speak to it with the little knowledge that I have. Now, yes, different thing motivates us, right? Some is that drive for success that motivates you. And motivation can be in different directions. Motivation can lead you to the left side, and motivation can lead you to the right side. So it depends on who is motivating you and what is driving you. Now, when you saw the 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 pictures that all your colleagues were pasting and you pasted your own, and the fact that the fear of failure also keeps you awake, it's itself a good motivation, but you have to channel it positively. Do you understand? Instead of feeling that, oh, because I want to get a good GTPA or whatever it is, I must wake up and read. Do you understand? You find out that you're reading to get a good degree or result. You're not reading because you enjoy it and it's part of the next that you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because what has led to that aggressive reading is the fear of failure. Do you understand? But it's a different ball game when you know that, Grace, I'm born to be successful. Do you understand? I can't fail. And you put that affirmation on your system. That fear disappears because you know that naturally you are a success. And I keep telling people that there's no one, and this is me, and people are giving different opinion, and I respect other people's opinion. There's no one God has created to fail. Where we are today is the result of the decision we took yesterday, whether we like it or not. There are people that were born in the Inidore or the interior of Visionboarding, and they're extremely successful, and they've never been to Lagos. Successful and successful well. So you need to conquer that fear of that fear driving your success, or that fear of failure. It's kind of okay, but you need to channel it in the positive, in the positive, right? Telling yourself that I'm created to be a success. So what you can do naturally, do you have fear of doing it? Do you have fear of walking? Or do you have fear of running? Because it's natural to you, right? When you have fear and that fear drives you to do something, there's a high tendency that you make mistake and you don't get the best results. Because you're doing everything out of fear, not from a peaceful and a relaxed place. So I think the first thing is, yes, it has dragged you towards success, but you need to channel that in a positive way, right? To ensure that that fear is not a fear, but you constantly reminding yourself that you are made and born to be successful. The more you tell yourself that affirmation, the more that fear goes down. So it's a case of a cup being half full. What you're doing right now, that you're seeing that cup half empty. Because you're seeing the cup half empty, your reaction to that glass of water is different from the sense that you're seeing it half full. That's exactly what I think is happening. So you need to see that cup half full as opposed to half empty to help control that fear and channel it in the right direction. I don't know if anybody wants to ask it. That's my understanding of it, and that's the way how I would have approached it. I don't know if that helps, Grace, or if any other person can jump on this.
Okay, so sorry, let me just quickly add something. So Grace mentioned, I think one of the issues is doing it because others are doing it too. I have a tendency at a deep subconscious level, I can be very disruptive when everybody's doing something. At a deep subconscious level, I don't want to do it. So you might have found yourself doing it because maybe at your core, you didn't really understand why you had to do this. There was no conviction, as it were. Okay, like in my presentation, I mentioned I understand because I was in your department too. I know what that department can do to people. That's when I started listening to all this manifestation, the secrets, law of attraction too, that I wanted to manifest to. I did not manifest to. So sometimes when we do things because everybody's doing it, it doesn't really resonate with our core. What exactly is your goal? What exactly is your goal? Like I myself now, so maybe pasting pictures can be intimidating, and of course having people see what you have can be a little cringy, right? But it can be as little as maybe writing it down. So after the goals, after the quotes you wrote, okay, the quotes are going to get you pumped up and everything. It's also good to write. Like what helped me 2024, I didn't have a vision board. I used to have, I've never been consistent. But writing what I wanted to achieve per time and how I wanted to do it, I set into small incremental actions. So okay, maybe at this time I want to read, and I stuck to it. I was so disciplined. I won't say because my children are there, I don't have a nanny. It's a goal I set. Sometimes it means sleeping very late in the night at the sacrifice of my own self-care, which is not healthy. I don't advise that. But you get so motivated to a point that you are just on your toes. And like Mr. Jide said, when you do something, you achieve a goal, it's like a natural motivation for you. Our brain is a motivation machine. Once you achieve something, you are inspired to want to keep up doing it, keep up doing it. And the beautiful thing about writing it down is that the brain is now fixated on finding problems with it, solving it. But when you now put it in pictures, so maybe because it's now in an open space, that could have been the problem. But I don't want you to discard the fact that, and also the fact that you feel fear is a motivation. Sometimes we have the human mind is very fragile. Sometimes we have certain traumas. We have them, like when I was talking about the subconscious program, we don't know how we came about this program, and we just feel that is how I am designed, that is how I am. It could have been an emotional wound from childhood that made you like that. So sometimes doing that deep work and actually being very retrospective, ask yourself deep retrospective questions, understanding why you are this way, and actually keeping an open mindset, not having a fixed mindset, have a growth mindset, and let's give it a shot one more time. Maybe I'm doing this because others are doing it. Maybe others are in my space. Maybe I'm frustrated. I'm not seeing results. How about I do it like this? Start by setting actual goals. Have a to-do list. You stick to it routinely. This is what I want to achieve per time, and I must stick to the game. Like I must keep my head in the game. Then after that, how about maybe on my phone? If I can't put it up on my wall, maybe I have it on my phone. Every time I flip through my phone, that is my screensaver. So whatever it is, many of us, we have our faces on our screensavers. You have seen your face like for the longest time. How about you put where you want to be, your vision board? Maybe because you don't have your own space, but your phone is your own private thing. Put it on your phone. Every time you check your phone, that's the first thing you see before you unlock it. And also going about sourcing for those images. I'd really love for us to get to that point where we actually know how to source for those images. Are we going to download them online, cut them from magazines, or how do you actually source those images and all? But that's just what I wanted to add. Yeah. I hope I was able to make some sense, contribute to your question.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Ma.
Irene, you have kind of asked the question while you made a comment, and that's okay. So asking, how can we source for images to create our vision board? So I'd like Mr. Babajide to help answer that.
Yeah, she actually answered it herself. You know, you could look for magazines like my son's vision board. He put basketball there, so he went to NBA website. You know, printed some images and put it there. My daughter has cooking and Bible reading and all that. I don't know where she got the picture of Nigerian Adugo. She just got those Adugo pictures, and you know, pasted it there. So you could actually go online and put a topic, especially on Google, put a topic and click on images. So you see the image of that thing, that you're looking for, that thing that you want to do. So yes, online magazines and everything helps to get those things. And sometimes you could take a picture with your phone and print it out and paste it there, right? You could take a picture of your. So what are we doing lately? Well, I know it's going to happen soon. I've been seeing a lot of custom homes. So anytime I see those custom homes, I can grab them and I save them. I can grab them and save them. So I'm printing them out and I'll just paste different, custom homes somewhere. Who knows? In a few time, I might have my own custom home. You know. So yes, you could print them out online and also, you know, anywhere. So because your vision is already engraved in your head, when you see a picture that speaks to your vision, you would know, and you quickly, print it out or take it out or go to Google and everything. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Judy. Thanks a lot. Okay. Joy, is it Joy now? So Ada raised her hands earlier, so I don't know if she was ready to speak now. Also, or just move. We have like 2 questions more, and then we'll
Oh,
call
we've
it a
taken a
day.
lot
Ada, are
of
you there?
our speakers' time. Oh, let's be very, 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 very fast, please. So
Yeah.
don't stretch.
Okay,
It's
Ada,
fine.
you're
There's a
raising your hand.
grace.
Yeah, please shoot.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this, but I don't know. Maybe I missed it due to the distraction or network, whatever. The issue, I would like to call it an issue, is the part for me, which is I think hardest in most of the things I do, is the starting part. How
What?
to start?
Oh,
Starting. Because I could be, if I start something, then if I'm able to start something, I I can if I use the word push to the end, or at least towards the end. That's my person. If you give me a project, I can see it. Okay, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do this. I can move with it without even one man's forward. But the issue, the thing I really have most time, the challenge I have most time, especially when you have to with me, is starting. So in this area of what's it called? Board. How do I don't know, maybe you have mentioned it before, I don't know. How do I start? Where do I start? I don't know how to control the question, but it's something like that. Even though I got a hit from some people when they ask the questions and the response we give them based on how to get the pictures, put them, but how do I start? If I say, for example, I want to be what do I say? Something, I want to get to this point at this time. How do I get to start that whole idea? I don't know if you understand. Then the area where you mentioned the skills. How do I even know I need these skills? Maybe I have to acquire these skills, maybe to prepare myself for the future, which is a good thing. But the whole thing bothers on starting. I don't know where to begin from, how to go about it. I don't know if I can. I'm able to communicate.
okay. Somebody should mute. There's a noise in the background. But let me go ahead. Other question to you. So, what motivates you? What keeps you awake in the morning? That's a very good starting point. You need to think of what motivates you. What wakes you up in the morning and say, "Oh man, I wish I was this. I wish I have this. I wish I have that."
Okay,
What keeps
for
you
me,
awake?
is it
There's a
not for
noise in the
me? Because I'm
background.
hearing a lot of noise.
No, is that
Is it
you?
for me?
I don't know. Okay, I think it's from Rose. Go ahead, Ada. Ada, please go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, thank you. I would say what motivates me? A number of things differently. As a mom, my children motivate me. The work I have to do. Once I know, okay, I have to, what do I have to, okay, for example,
Okay,
by this night, I know that I start writing out my itineraries in my head for tomorrow. Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So, for example, let's start from tomorrow. By this night, I begin to write my itinerary for tomorrow in my head. That's first of all. By the time it's time, my alarm gets me up. I start running with it. Along the line, I could forget, okay, I'm supposed to start by 2 o'clock. What's that? Pick up the children, and I start running around. That's someone, that's family. So I'm busy throughout till it's 11 again, 12, if I can go back to bed. Then on the other side, I'm in the internet industry. And I like to be there because jobs and it's giving me flexible time for the family. Because the first thing I had in mind was I was working in the corporate world under public health. But when I started having children, I had to take a step back because I had in my head that, okay, since my husband is doing well enough, I should try and focus on the children and the house while I find something I could be doing as well. That's how I got into the entertainment industry. And so the job is not every day. When it comes, it can drain you for 3 months, 2 months at a stretch. And there's a lot of it. And there are times I will come and there's dry times for 3 months, 2 months too. So while I don't know if you understand the idea.
Yeah. So the reason why I asked that is it will be a good place for you to start. And I like the fact that I mentioned that your kids motivate you. So remember when we all started, we talked about accountability, having someone that you're accountable to. Do you understand? And what you can do that might probably help you, try it, is having that accountability with your kids because they're a sort of motivation to you. When you write out something, let them know that, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I promise you I'm going to do this. If you don't do it, they'll come and remind you. That's how kids are because they're very innocent. They're like, Mommy, you said you're going to do this. Mommy, you said you're going to do that. Before you know it, because they motivate you, you will want to stop giving them excuses. First time you might give them an excuse. Second time you might give them an excuse. But with time, you want to stop giving them excuses. And that is a good way to start. I think one thing that you can do that will help you is just find someone that you can be accountable to. That you guys can be accountable to each other. That's a good way to start. Right? So once you have that, it's easier for you to start. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Judy. Thank you, Ada, for the question. Thank you, because we needed to hear this answer. Thank you so much. I think we would be rounding off this session or the whole masterclass today. It's been a very wonderful time. Someone was putting it up in one of our Power Moms group that she has officially begun her year. Like this February is the beginning of our own new year, and she's wishing us happy new year because of this class that she has had. It's more like a push for her, and I think I share the same thing as well. It's a new year for me, and I hope the energy is maintained. So thank you so much, Mr. Judy, for always coming through for us. The last session we had with you was profound, and this one again, it's wonderful. Thank you so much. And Mrs. Giwamu, I know she has left, but please maybe you extend our thanks to her as well. Yeah, please extend our thanks to her. Our input too was very, very profound. Thanks a lot. And then to our convener, Ariola, thank you so much for always bringing this opportunity for us. Most of us cannot, we probably might not be able to afford these sessions if it's been monetized, but thank you. Thank you so much. And everyone that joins the call, thank you all. I don't know if Ariola would like to probably give another vote of thanks, with your English. Oh yeah, come on, add to it.
All right. I think Rosa said anything. I don't have much to add other than thank you all as usual. And as response to the question Ada posed, that's one of the reasons why Support Circle exists, right? We have a lot of 2025 is going to be, oh God, it's going to be so beautiful. Like what we did in 2024, we're just getting started, we're just testing the waters. 2025, like it's going to be smoking hot. Look at what Vivian said in the group. She has gone to call someone to nail something on her board. Like she's starting today. Like she's starting right now. People are so pumped and I'm just getting messages. The group is, people are saying a lot. I'm so happy and so blessed to have someone like Mr. Babajide in my network, for him to come to do such value. Look at all the questions. People don't used to ask questions like this normally, but it still hooked them for you. Like, so in response to what Ada said, we have a lot planned for the community in 2025, and accountability is a very big part of our support system. So we are going to build a form of system, and also being just coming to the group to say, like many times I want to do something, I'll just come and say, I have a gift for you people. I'm going to, you see, that time I said that thing, I probably have not written anything down. But because I've sent it to you people, if I don't do it, my integrity is at stake.
Yeah, very
And
true, very true.
I cannot sleep until I've gotten it done, because people will ask me, but Irene, you're not keeping to your word, though. You made this promise, right? So just come to the group. This is what I have. And also, one of the things we want to also encourage is, like I said in the welcome message, we are women that lift as we climb. I think it was even Grace that gave us that powerful line. Women that lift as they climb. Do you get? So we are not just about one person shining alone. We are creating space. We are pulling down doors and gates to let more women in. Not just sisters squeezing through small openings, through small door, like they're not allowing each other, but we are pulling down those gates, pulling down those walls to create more room for people. So if you have something you want to, or you need someone to partner with you, we actually have such provision. You come to the group, I need so someone has already sent me a message. She has an initiative, a social impact project she wants to embark on. And that's one of our strong propositions also. It's not just about I want to make money, I want to make money. What do you want to do in your community to bless someone, right? To give back to the society. So if you have such projects, you have a plan, you have a goal, just write it on the group. My plan, Kiniko, is to buy so. Please hold me accountable. Check in on me. Buy this and that. And it's as simple as that, really. And also, you can make your children accountability partners. Mommy, and they'll be on your neck. Children, do not let you rest. If you tell them you're in soup, just be sure that you can do that thing. You are ready to. If not, they won't let you rest. And it's a very good way to start. So thank you, everyone. Okay, Mr. Jide's hand is up. You want to say something?
I also want to let you know that I'm open to, for anyone that wants to have a one-on-one session. It's free. I'm not charging anybody, especially when it comes to business, when it comes to branding, when it comes to leadership. Just reach out to Ari. As long as my calendar is open. When it comes to training, whatever you want to do, as long as you have anything to do with marriage or relationship, that one I do something. We have to do with business, branding, leadership, writing your vision board, goal setting, and all that. I'll be more than happy to help and support. Just reach out to Ari. I can share my calendar, and people can reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. GD. When you mentioned about being open to anything, I was looking for the emoji of dancing, but I can't find it. I wanted to put it so I can be dancing and be, celebrating that. Yeah, this is beautiful.
I'm so
Sorry,
sorry.
I didn't
We'll
get
be
that.
calling you. We'll be calling on you for sessions or maybe workshops on sales.
I couldn't find the dancing as well.
Workshop on what, Ari?
Yeah, we have many people into business. We have many business women amongst us. So we'll be needing strategies around sales and marketing. So we'll be needing you for that. Funke is clapping because it's top on her. He's on her chest.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, everyone. The Power Mom Support Group, thank you for showing up and for giving your input as well. We are looking forward to the next session. All right, so we are charged up. Let's go fix our vision boards and do all what we need to do. Look for accountability partners that we can work with in achieving what we want to achieve. Have a wonderful weekend and have a glorious year. Thank you, Mr. GD, for everything. Thank you. All right, bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
We rise, we shine today. Together we we pave the way. Breaking fears, breaking chains, strength in numbers we aim. Skills we build, we grow, upscale every flow. Talents bright we showcase, in the space we find grace. Support circle, we stand tall. Women power breaking walls. No quotas, just pure might. Shining through every fight. As we sway, every skill, every art, together we make a mark. Breaking norms, breaking seals, true power we reveal. Not just numbers on the board, but talent finally roared. Support circle, we stand tall. Women power breaking walls. No quotas, just pure might. Shining through every fight. As we sway, every skill, every art, together we make our mark. Breaking norms, breaking seals, true power we reveal. Not just numbers on the board, but talent finally roared. Support circle, we stand tall. Women power breaking walls. No quotas, just pure might. Shining through every fight.